All right, Noob's Guide to Oxygen Not Included. Most guides are like, you know, 30 minutes to an hour, and they'll talk about one topic, and they'll be like introduction to X, and it'll be like the most complex thing you've ever seen, even though you've got 50 hours in the game. So I figured I'd do an actual Noob's Guide and try to keep it short, which means I'm going to have a lot of pauses in the video, so there's going to be a lot. It's going to be very choppy. It's going to be poorly edited. All right, so when you roll your characters, a good starting point is one guy that's good at excavation, +7 excavation, +7 husbandry, so you can do some ranching for food, +7 science for researching purposes. You want to choose things that aren't really super bad as problems. So like the fact that my digger can't research and my rancher can't research, who cares? This is the guy that researches, can't attack, but attacking is not that big a deal. All right, first thing I look at, I got my water supply over here. Got some copper up here. I'm going to need that. So it's looking like I'm going to start building to the right. What I'm going to do is start building some bedrooms to the right and then dig up for some workspace. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so this is the end of my first day. You'll see that I've got some beds over here, you know. I've got a toilet right here. That's probably not the permanent home for the toilets, but, you know, I'm starting to dig up. I've got a pitcher pump right here for water. So now she goes to the bathroom. You know, right, it's still unhygienic currently, but, you know, we have a starting point where they have a place to go to sleep at night, and they're about to go to sleep. You can see the beds are dark right now. They haven't been assigned, and now they're assigned. Now they go to bed. First day is over. Now you see this guy's not sleeping well, and the reason is because you see there's this shine bug right there. They don't sleep well whenever there's light near their bedroom, so we may end up having to kill this bug because I don't feel like moving it right now. So my next order of business is to get power up so I can start producing oxygen and getting my research tree going. So one thing to notice over here is you'll see that there's a bunch of water over here. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this out, make this a bit deeper, and I'm going to have this all flow into there, so I have sort of a one place to contain my water. So the next thing I do here is I work on getting my science tree up. I build, I go to my power menu, I build a manual generator, I build 2 batteries, I build a research station, I connect them all with a wire, and this is going to be how I start my tech tree going. So you can see right here, there's a hatch. These guys are what ultimately are going to become one of my main food sources. I'm going to start, that's the reason I picked the husbandry when I first started the game, is that I'm going to start farming these guys. All right, so now I've built an oxygen diffuser. And if you look, so now if you go to F1, you can see my gases. So carbon dioxide, which is here at the bottom, carbon dioxide goes down, oxygen goes up. And so I'm already doing pretty good on oxygen. The reason I'm already doing okay on oxygen is these tiles right here automatically produce oxygen, but they're temporary. These things deteriorate over time. So you have to at some point start making your own oxygen. And you'll see here it says max gas pressure. That's because I have, you know, all the oxygen packed in here I can have. And you see right here, this is also one of those decayable tiles that will produce oxygen. And then this thing here consumes algae, which is this right here. That's algae. And so your duplicants have to put the algae in that thing. By the way, up here, you have the pause button, which is space. And then you have different speeds you can go to. Regular speed, which is pretty slow. Tab for faster, and then pause. You'll see this thing right here, mealwood. Those are naturally occurring, and you'll see these little tiles right here. When you dig those out, sometimes you get goodies like seeds and things like that. Sometimes there'll be these little animals, the hatches that I showed you earlier. And this will be one of my 2 primary food sources ultimately. All right, so let's start our research. You click your research station, you click research, got a big tech tree. I generally start right here, go straight to meal preparation. That's my starting point in my tech tree. And your Smarty Smart will generally run there and start the process. All right, so around day 3, you get the opportunity to, like, your little base right here will say a printable is available. You'll go to choose a blueprint, and usually you get an option between new duplicants and then some sort of benefit. And so I'm usually very conservative with new duplicants. This guy can't attack, which isn't really a big deal, +7 operating. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably go in that direction because the operating doesn't matter to me that much because I don't really go into mechatronics and stuff. But okay, this person can cook. So they got cooking and doctoring, strength, agriculture, and athletics. This person has a bottomless stomach, can't research. We've got a bunch of people that can't research. But this person has a lot of. I'm gonna probably go here, mole hands. So yeah, so I'm gonna pick this guy. And we have to remember that. Okay, so once he immediately gets built, you get to pick a duplicate skill on him. So I'm gonna give him hard digging, which allows you to dig into harder things. And then you get to give him a hat once you learn a skill. So give him that. So the harder stuff is going to be a little bit further in the map. Like I think this is harder. So as you get further in the map, you need the ability to dig harder and harder. And then, you know, once you build this guy, you need to make sure that you immediately build him a bed. And then talking about the priority system, you can go into priorities, click priority, hit 9, which ups the priority. The higher the number, the higher the priority to do. So that'll send them immediately to go build it. And you'll look in the top left, you'll see I've got 24 kcals, which is how much food I have. So now that I've built the 4th duplicate, really I have to start thinking about food. And you see right here, I'm having them dig this out to get one consolidated water pile. And the purpose here is to just isolate the water in one place, because it's very easy to pollute your water. And so it's good to have one place where the water is. Also, it gives you an opportunity to build, because you see this water, you know, it can flood. So you can see it now. I've got a bunch of water up here. So I'm going to want to make this a bit deeper. And you can see up here, that's polluted water, which is basically piss and shit. So you don't want those to mix. So I want to start planting some plants, right? So I'm going to start building these farm tiles, but I also want to build a farm station to get fertilizer to increase the plant growth rates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building these tiles, start planting some plants, and then see how this has 2 things on the tech tree. I've got to build a supercomputer in order to research that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to colony development and do advanced research to get a supercomputer before I do that. So I just realized that I made this floor too short. You generally want to make your floors 2 doors high. And so this one I made too short, so I'm going to destroy it, make it a little bigger. I'm going to turn this into a bathroom, move my oxygen diffuser over here. All right, so I've got my bathroom built, and you can now I press F11. I've got my room overlay. You can see how the bedroom now has the green highlight. That it gives a morale bonus. The latrine, I believe, gives a morale bonus. And you can see here I got my sinks. So they use the bathroom, then they clean themselves up. That reduces food poisoning germs. Set direction left, which means they wash their hands when they go that direction rather than both directions. So things are starting to shape up to a very rudimentary base. So when you first build a new dupe, you get to choose a skill point. Additionally, over time, your duplicates level up, and you can see a little icon right there. Go to duplicate skills. I go to Lindsay, which when okay, so she's the researcher, so I'm gonna give her advanced researcher. I'm also gonna change her name in a second. Give her hat so I can recognize her on the map. And so if we go to vitals and I pick Lindsay, I'm gonna change her name. I call her Smarty, so it's easy to tell. And then Max. Yeah, usually I give them names as they level up. So I've got my guy got the husbandry. I'm going to put him on Improve Farming 1 to give him the farming ability. And then I'm going to probably go into crop tending on the next level, and then into critter ranching on the 3rd level, because I'm going to have the farm station before I'm going to have the critter ranching. So I'm going to call him Farmy Rancher. All right, so now we just got our research down. What did we get? Did we get the supercomputer? So we got the supercomputer, and so now we're going to go to the agriculture to get the farm station. And now we have our farm tiles. We got 9 mealwood seeds. We're going to plant them. Kind of a neat little feature here. I can click a tile. I can go to copy settings, and I could go blurp. And that copies the settings. And then I'm going to set their priority to 9, meaning that, hey, look, oh, they're already 9. All right, so there we go, starting food. So yeah, I got to build a advanced research. I got to build a supercomputer in order to research that thing, which is why I had researched that other thing earlier. So let's run our power to that. Set our priority to 9 on that. And now we have another dupe on deck. And so here's where I would argue See, I want this because of creativity, but increased air consumption rate, you don't want that. Decreased calories, no, you don't want that. So this is kind of a perfect storm of like what you don't want. So I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, I wish I could move this window. Is this right by my bedroom? You see, I'm not gonna build this. I'm gonna go ahead and just get algae for oxygen. So I'm putting a high priority in like building out this big water tank here, so I can just drain all this water into here and start building my base without worrying about. It's very easy to screw up and not pay attention and have water bleed all over your base or pollute the hell out of your water. So I like to be proactive and try to make sure I've got a handle on that. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I kind of got caught in this like little hole of water management. So I'm like trying to get everything down in here, and then I realized, oh crap, I don't have enough. So it's, what I'm going to end up probably having them do is wait and build a pump and like catch everything down here, and then pump it into here. Or maybe this is me sucking, but I didn't really get my water management down with this right. So yeah. All right, so now my mealwood plants have matured, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to food. I'm going to build a microbe musher and power. All right, so I have an option for another dupe. I'm going to choose Liam. He can't cook, but he's got a +7 in creativity, which is good. Change his name to Dolly. And now I have to really start paying attention to food. So I print him. I'll go ahead and choose his skill and his hat. Give him art fundamentals. So I'm going to have to start developing art in the research tree. Make sure that I build a bed. If you look at the top left, I have 24 kcals of food. And at this rate, I have to start really paying attention to food because I can run out of food very fast now. All right, so I got my microbe musher up. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna go to lice loaf, which is what the meal lice feed. I'm gonna put that on forever, and that will continue to make that piece of food for as long as I possibly can. I'm also, now I've got a fair number of duplicates. I'm gonna go to schedule, and now I've got 5 duplicates. Now I've only got 4 bathrooms, and so that's one aspect. So I'm gonna hit add a new schedule. And what I like to do at this point is to add 1 click of downtime. And then in the next schedule, I like to have 1 click of overlap. And then we do 3 bed times. And then we do the bath time. And then we do work. Yeah, so basically we have 2 schedules that slightly overlap. And now we have Stinky is another digger. And we have Diggy here. So we're going to move Stinky over here because she's a digger. And then we'll go ahead and move Dolly over here too. So now we have a somewhat staggered schedule where they're not trying to fight for the bathrooms at the same time. And then we go to priorities, and I'm going to start looking at priorities and say, okay, Diggy, his priority is digging, farming rancher. And you can see sort of why I give them their names like this. I'm going to give farming, ranching, smarty, researching. And you could, the purples, if you pick duplicates based on their preferences, the colors kind of give you an indication. Stinky, attacking and digging. Yeah, so this one was also diggy. Dolly, decorating. So far, you haven't really seen how that matters, but we'll get into that. All right, so I got my agriculture up. So what I'll do now is I'll build a farm station. So I go to food, farm station. Wait, no, stations, farm station. And sort of a complementary to and so I'll build a pneumatic door to make this an actual room. Tile. And then over here on the other side of the bathroom, I'll create some compost heaps. So what that does is it basically fertilizer synthesizer. I'm pretty sure you could just use polluted dirt with these. So the idea is, okay, now I have a farm station. I have to enclose it in, make this a farm, going back to our, our room thing. This then becomes a greenhouse. And then I use the poo-poo to do compost. And from that, I can start fertilizing my plants. Next in tech tree is we're going to go to brute force refinement, because we're going to need copper for some stuff we're about to do. So I built a bunch of mess tables here. You can see the room overlay. That's a mess hall, and I get a morale bonus. And the purpose of morale bonuses is the higher the morale, the more skill points they can learn. And they also don't have negative effects. Every duplicant has like a stress effect and like a happiness effect. So you want your duplicates as happy as possible. All right, so food's getting a little sketchy. In addition to having the infinite number of lice loaf, I'm gonna make a certain number of mush bars. This is basically just turning mud slop into food, and it actually makes your duplicates kind of unhappy, but it keeps them from dying. So it's worth queuing. Once you start getting a little sketchy on food, you get 5 dupes, get a little sketchy on food, it's good to queue a couple of those up just to make sure you don't starve to death. And so this is not currently in a greenhouse. It needs to be enclosed in order to be in a greenhouse, so that we're gonna get that up soon. All right, so another duplicate on deck. Let's see. Can't build, increase strength, 7 agriculture, never get a narcoleptic. Increase bladder, kind of think about this one, because I don't really have a cook right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go strong man. So once again, I'm being a little more aggressive than I normally am. Give him tiding, which I think it gives him strength right now. So that enables him to carry more, which is important. All right, so I got my rock crusher on deck. I usually go just straight to 30 copper. And that's a pretty time-consuming thing. It takes a lot of time to do 30 copper, but I usually just commit to it right away. And so once morning comes, a duplicate's going to get in there and start doing it. Making a liar out of him. Oh, I'm going to put the priority up to 9. Crop tending on the mealwoods. Who made a mess? Oh shit! What's going on? Oh, yeah. So that's a common thing. So this guy right here got stuck because I dug down here. It got sloppy, and he didn't have a way out. So I'm going to prioritize this to 9. And this is a super common thing if you're not paying attention. Is just someone gets stuck where nobody can help them. Yeah, and then there's shit and piss everywhere. Yeah, so this is like pretty much the bane of your existence in this game. It's like the worst thing. It's like someone just gets locked away somewhere and they can die. All right, so we got our copper working now. We're gonna go to research tree, and the next thing we're gonna research is automation. Way down here, because we want the automation wire. That allows us to later build a generator that we can turn on and off automatically. And another side benefit of this, like digging into down, is that you'll notice that all the carbon dioxide keeps going down. So the digging deeper allows us to not have to worry as much about all this carbon dioxide. All right, so we've got our automation wire. Now we go to advanced power regulation and go from there. So I've got the greenhouse going. Which enables the farm station use, but the problem is I don't have the skill yet, so I have to get one of my duplicates up in that skill before I could even use this. All right, so now I have a new skill on Farmy Rancher. I could go to Critter Ranching to explain Critter Ranching to you, but I'm gonna, I kind of want to do that just so I can explain Critter Ranching. But I'm gonna go to Crop Tending just because I need the food. All right, new blueprint. Going for coal. I need the fuel because I'm about to build a coal generator. All right, new research. About to go to the promised land. We get our smart battery. Here we go. All right, so we're going to build our basic setup for our starting point. Got our automation going. Got our power going. So what's our basic setup look like? Just our sort of rudimentary stuff, right? So what our rudimentary setup looks like is as follows. I'm clicking all the exclamation points because I hate looking at them. All right, so I'm going to set up a basic power transformer. Now, I could go to an advanced power transformer, but we're just going for the starting thing. The way that a basic power transformer works is that it goes from up to down. So we build a basic power transformer. And then we build a jumbo battery. And I'm not saying this is optimal. I'm just saying this is what I do. Then I build a smart battery, and that's the thing with the automation. Then you build a coal generator. And then you build heavy watt wire from the coal to the smart battery to the jumbo battery up here. And now you got the heavy watt wire. Then you go to your regular wire, and you go to your normal grid. And then you do the automation. Do your automation wire, go from here to here. So I will continue the video once this is activated. And it just occurred to me, I didn't really explain why. So the heavy watt wire can carry like not an infinite, but a very large amount of electricity. And this wire right here can only handle 1,000 watts. So the idea is this thing can pump out a lot. These things can pump out a lot. And this is a transformer. It's what a transformer does. It like, you know, we're like actually doing like crazy real world shit here. All right, so this is a glorious moment. It's a glorious moment where your power grid is powered by your coal plant, and you can turn off the mouse wheel. And now you have, it's basically like getting another duplicate for free. And so what you do is you go to your smart battery, you put that down to around, 90, this to around 20. And what's going to happen is that coal plant's going to just pump out electricity until that thing's around 90% energy. And once it hits about 90% energy, it's going to stop. And that's the whole point, is like, you should, because the coal plant, without the automation wire and without that smart battery, it'll just go forever and basically burn through all your ore the whole time. So that's the whole point of that. So like we'll watch it turn off. So it's at 15. Once it hits like 18, 19, it'll kick off. So it kicked off. See? And so your coal plant is just going to sit there until this thing gets down to about 20%. All right. So I got another dupe. Narcoleptic, not picking, can't dig, +7 agriculture. Random larva, I don't know. Reject all. I get very conservative at this point in the game. All right, so in terms of research, I'm gonna go into critter ranching here. All right, so go into ranching, and I'm just gonna go straight into animal control, and here we go. All right, so now we're gonna start with our critter ranching. We click on our critter feeder. We go to hatch, and I generally just go straight to sandstone. I select sandstone, and the drop off, I select hatches and hatchlings. And unfortunately, we do not have the critter ranching skills, so this is not going to be a useful room for a while. So currently, it is marked as a stable, but it doesn't do anything, so I don't have the skill yet. So now I'm going to go to the large power transformer, and this is why I built so much copper, because the current way my stuff works is that my regular wires only carry 1 kilowatt, and so I'm going to be able to build conductive wire that can do 2 kilowatts. All right, so this is a common problem right here. I got a guy suffocating because I dug and got a little aggressive with digging. So I'm going to dig here. Priority 9 to dig. Yeah, so that's a big problem. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create cookie operator. Increased athletics, can't research, who cares? One more bed. I got 4 more cots that can be filled. And my food's okay. So let's go. So around this time, I like to add one more downtime block. So I like to add one to downtime. And then go to one overlap. And the bath time overlaps 1. right? Yeah. And then work. Is that right? So let's see. 4, 4, 3, 3, bathroom, then work. So yeah. So go to downtime. All right, so 3, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, so let's move cookie operator here. All right. All right, so I just researched low resistance conductors to get a better transformer. And so now I'm going to go into plumbing and get sanitation and get some bathrooms going. And then I'm going to do that, then get to distillation, and this video is going to be over. And the critter ranching too. So that's pretty much where we're going. All right, so now we go into distillation to get carbon skimmers and water sieves. Oh, wait, where's the carbon skimmer? Is it oxygen? So now I'm confused. So where's the oh, so yeah, here we go. Decontamination, because we're gonna need the deodorizer because we just dug into the algae, and we need the carbon skimmer. So yeah, here we go. God damn it! So why is this? Why is that a mess? Like, why are they stuck there? Oh, please tell me it's not going in my water. Okay, it's not going in my water. Shit and piss is not going in my water. All right. Just typical stuff. All right, so at this point, we're starting to dig into stinky areas that have all these polluted oxygens. And it's a good idea to just, you can kind of spam deodorizers here and there. And you can delete them later, doesn't really matter. But it's a good idea just to build them and just not have polluted oxygen making all your dudes sick everywhere. And they're not going to last forever, but, you know, it's just good to get rid of the greasy germs. Mechanized locks. And then we have the carbon skimmer. And I'm not going to build the carbon skimmer just yet. I'm going to get my plumbing going, and then I'll build the carbon skimmer. All right, so here's what I think I'm doing. So I'm basically building 2 generators, a jumbo battery, a smart battery, and a large power transformer going with thick wire to a liquid pump. And the thick wire handles 2K of electricity, so that's our starting point. All right, so I'm going to lay some pipe here. That's not a euphemism. All right, so I'm going to go to plumbing. Go to a liquid bridge. So the white is in, the green is out, which is a little counterintuitive to me. So I'm building a liquid pipe. So the liquid pipe is going from, the green is out, from my pump here to here to here. And then I'm jumping over this because I'm starting to build the outtake here. The outtake goes here to there, to the shit pit, right? And then we go out here. And then we do that. And then we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm 90% sure that's right. Except I think I'm going 1 too high on that. I'm going too low. God damn it. I'm building. Yeah, there you go. That's what you do. So I'm pretty sure that's the pattern. So too much, too much, too much, too much. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so let's go. Right on this time, I usually research freaking fire poles because they're sweet. All right, so now that we've got this this thing. This is transformative. And I may not have this whole thing built before this video is over. But having a fire pole in your base, I'm going to put it up to priority 9 just to show you how badass it is. So even as they build it, you can kind of see people slide down super fast. So yeah, having a fire pole is really awesome. The time has come. I've gotten critter ranching. I can finally show you. All right, so where are those beautiful hatches? There we go. Let's capture critters, and let's put this priority up to 9. 9. All right, so let's see what happens. Come on, this is why videos are so slow. So he captures the hatch, brings it up there. And the great thing about this is they produce coal. When they poop, they produce coal. So we have coal burning power plants, and then this guy right here is like starting pleasant chit chat, and he goes up there and grooms them, becomes a tame hatch, and now we have something. So now we have this sort of sustainable food source and a supply of coal. I forgot. We're also working on plumbing. All right, so I'm gonna just deconstruct our wash basin. I'm pretty sure if we go to medicine and go to sink, we could build the sink, and that's just gonna drop in and work. All right, so this is a new one on me. So I kind of ignored this volcano. And so apparently this is like 8 trillion freaking degrees. So, you know, this is kind of the way the game is built. So I'm trying to build this Noobs guide. And I dug into a volcano not too far from my thing where it's like, okay, this shit is 232 degrees Celsius, which is going to completely wreck my base. That is not the point of this tutorial. So I'm going to pretend that's not existing. And I will continue. So I'm going to research insulated tiles. So one thing I've noticed in a lot of the YouTube videos is they talk about building things in certain materials that have thermal blockers. I don't know if that's still accurate because I just haven't seen it. So maybe that got patched out. I don't freaking know. I'm going to try to build some insulated tiles. So yeah, so that's my Noob's Guide to Oxygen Not Included, right? So I've got my like little hatch farm going here with a bunch of hatches that I'm gonna eat. Got a little farm here. I'm not really researching anything. Cycle 29. I've got full plumbing. You know, the plumbing is going into the shit and piss water down here. I'm about to build a carbon skimmer to get rid of the carbon dioxide, which is the least of my problems because like it's freaking hell ride of a freaking volcano that I've never seen before in this game. I mean, I did not know volcanoes existed. So, you know, I built these insulated tiles, and you know, I certainly did not plan to give advice on volcanoes. These guys are still working on this. I'm gonna keep going until the carbon skimmer's working, right? Ooh, carbon skimmer's working. So it's taking in clean water, throwing out shit and piss water, and getting rid of carbon dioxide. There we go. Noob's Guide to Oxygen Not Included. Fairly stable. You know, I didn't say I was good at this game. It's a Noob's Guide, for God's sake.